Hello everyone and welcome to another high elo game of Age of Empires. Today we've got the Battle of the Pastels as Valas, playing as the Saracens in purple, prepares to take on Nili, playing as the Portuguese in teal. And while the players heard their herdables explore their immediate and closed off surroundings and try to go up to Feudal and probably Castle as fast as possible, let's take a look at the Civ matchup we'll be watching today. Now the Saracens are a Civ whose strong market can be used to gain an early to mid-game advantage over their opponents quite handily. To start with, Saracen markets only cost 75 wood, and their commodity trading fee is fixed at 5%, which is significantly lower than the 30% that other civs have to pay when they, for example, buy food early on. Now, using this economic advantage, the Saracens can field quite a hard-hitting, tanky army. Their foot archers come with an attack bonus against buildings, which makes Saracen Feudal Age aggression quite scary. Their camel riders and heavy camel riders come with 10 extra HP and can be upgraded to get even more HP, and their trebs, mangonels, and onagers can all be upgraded to increase their attack. Now, their unique unit, the Mameluke, is a ranged melee camel unit that comes with a big attack bonus against cavalry, and whose HP can also be upgraded just like any other Saracen camel units. Now, opposing Valas, we've got Nili, playing as the Portuguese in teal, a mixed land-based naval civilization whose economic bonuses allow it to take advantage of its very strong gunpowder units. To get an early game boost to your economy, Portuguese foragers also generate wood. Where are the berries? There they are. Every time berries are collected, the rate is 1 wood for every 3 food. So basically divide this by 3, and that's 250 wood you get while you forage those berries. All Portuguese units cost less gold. All technologies are researched faster, except going up to the next age. And once you hit Imperial, you can build the unique structure of the Portuguese, the Feitoria. This is an economic building that auto-generates all 4 resources, but does take up 20 population space. Now, using all these bonuses, features, and economic, let's call them characteristics, the Portuguese can field a pretty impressive gunpowder-based army, since they have access to every single non-unique gunpowder unit in the game, by the way, on both land and sea. And all of these gunpowder units can be upgraded to fire more accurately at moving targets and to increase the speed of their projectiles. This, by the way, strongly benefits their unique unit, the Organ Gun, a gunpowder siege unit that fires 5 or 6 bullets in a small spread designed to hit multiple targets at once, and does come with a small attack bonus against infantry, skirmishers, and buildings. So these are 2 very fun civilizations. Saracen's not one that you see very frequently. Not too sure why. If the top players, or the high elo players at least, usually go random civilizations, it does have an equal chance of appearing as much as any other civ, but you don't generally see Saracens in the, let's call it, for lack of a better word, meta of high elo gameplay at the moment. By the way, if you haven't noticed, we are on Arena. I'm going to zoom out. Apologies to anyone on a smaller screen. This is an enclosed map, meaning it's not open like Arabia, for example. Everyone starts off with a nice little base, generally some walls in the back that the players tend to demolish, as happened here earlier on. And as opposed to the usual base analysis, which we do whenever it's an open map of where are all the resources located, here, the important thing to see is whether there are resources near the walls, because this means these resources can come under attack. But so far, this C-shaped stone pile and this Z-shaped or Z-shaped, depending which country you're in, gold pile are nice and far away from the walls and gates. And our Portuguese also doesn't have, this is a backward L of gold kind of away from the gate. So neither player having an exposed amount of any kind of resource. That being said, in Arena, you generally do see one of each resource, or I should say scarce resource, outside of the gate. So gold to the north, stone to the south, gold to the south, stone to the north. A nice little mirror matchup. Also, I'll give my usual spiel of Arena and enclosed maps like Fortress. Generally 5 relics out on the field, and the game follows 3 distinct metas. The game meta follows 3 distinct stages. The first one, you'll notice the players are going up. I mean, they haven't gone up yet, but they will go up on more villagers than the usual 19 or so. That's because generally stage 1 of the game, they rush up to Castle Age. Now, the reason they rush up to Castle Age is so that they can send out monks to start collecting these golden little star bedazzled relics. And that begins stage 2 of the game. Once all the relics are gotten, stage 3, my favorite, starts. And then the players build big old armies and get into big old conflicts and try to kill each other that way. Not too sure how this meta developed, not too sure if it's a good meta, a bad meta, but it is the general standard meta. And when I say standard, I don't mean boring at all. It is very, very exciting, especially when players start fighting with scouts, with light cav, with spearmen, trying to convert units with monks. It can get very chaotic and all hell can break loose. For now, both players are heading up to Feudal, and take a look at their resources already. 400 food, 150 gold for, for our Saracen. I was going to say Portuguese for a second, but had a bit of a brain fart. Our Portuguese player, 370 food, already 170 gold. Wouldn't be surprised to see our Saracen use the market. Like I said, that 5% commodity trading fee is just absolutely fantastic. It's a bit of a more complicated strategy than usual. A lot of people like to tack on the word abuse at the end of it, and sometimes it is. Sometimes it does seem like a market abuse to be able to just trade all the resources you need very quickly. Stable blacksmith going up for our Portuguese. Our Saracen, immediately a blacksmith and a stable as well. Okay, so maybe we won't see a market. For now, though, our Portuguese much closer to Castle Age by about, what, 60 gold? Oh, no, look at that. Deleted the blacksmith, going market instead. Remember, they do only cost 75 wood, which saves them a good amount of wood. And I guarantee you, I'm not going to guarantee, but 99% sure, once this finishes, take a look at the left side of our screen. There it is. Sold 100 stone, sold 100 stone, bought food, and immediately clicking up to castle. Amazing. Now, keep in mind, our Portuguese also clicking up to castle. Could have done the exact same thing, but would have had to pay a lot more for those for that food. Instead of the 5% trading fee, there is a 30% trading fee. So think of that as like a commission. Every time you buy and sell a resource, those pesky marketplace scammers take their little their vigorole, if you want to get technical with it. But in any event, stage 1 of the game appears to be ending in about a minute and a half. Identical timing to go up to castle, by the way. And both on the back of 26 villagers. So very similar game style, very similar gameplay. However, our Portuguese will have 200 stone left in his fuel tank, which means as long as he can get up a bit more wood, he'll be able to plop down a town center much, much quicker than Valas, unless Valas decides, you know what, I'm just going to buy the stone. By the way, in the meantime, how many relics have the players seen? I'm going to zoom out again. Teal has seen all of them except the last one. Oh no, the one closest to his base. Will he discover it now? Should. There it is. Okay, so Nili sees all 5. Valas sees all 5 as well. All of them on this one screen here to the bottom left, all the way to the top right. And usually not a big shock to see stables, because take a look. Immediately Scout Cav. I wouldn't be surprised if they upgrade them to Light Cav, but a monastery should be popping up rather. There it is. Ark of the Covenant in purple. Getting lowered. If I click, look at the minimap. This was teal square with a white ring around it. How much do you want to bet that's a monastery? Boom. Okay, so we're doing a general meta here. Stage 2 is underway. Husbandry here for our Portuguese. Oh, look at that speed, 1.71. Oh, Valas has to be very careful. Doesn't want to lose these guys. The whole point of these guys is to snipe monks right now. Instead, they snipe a scout cav, and first blood goes to our Saracen. Well played for Valas. Excited, by the way, to see more and more games out of Valas on Arabia and Arena. He is a master of Black Forest or Rage Forest, depends on what you want to call it, which version of that map you play. Monk out for purple, monk out for teal. And this I also love. When I started casting a long time ago, a whole 6 months ago, when I started this channel, the arena games didn't have a lot of spearmen. But I think players quickly realized you know what? I don't think we're going to stop scouts with other scouts because they can just run around them. Look at this. Look how quick they deke around each other and how poorly. Look at that. Even with the blocking, the scout managed to get to the monk and kill the monk while being converted. While 3 of his opponent's scouts are in the way, he manages to deke around. So I think players started realizing, you know what? Let's add these guys. I mean, this guy's a bad example. He's lying face down in the dirt, dead. But spearmen, never a bad idea. What you'd ideally like to do is have them around your monks. That being said, purple has noticed that teal is not out on the map at all. Teal going up to 5, 6 light cav. Saracen already hitting 7. First relic goes to him, by the way, but a very exposed monastery right here at the front. Also, an interesting thing. Oh, look at that. He bought stone. Like I said, he's going to have to buy stone, whereas Nili already has the stone, still has 100 left in the old coffer. And so can build another town center in, what, 70 wood or so? But yeah, as I was about to say, they usually build the monastery fairly close to the front of the map, or the front of the gate. Oh, he's gonna make it, right? 3 relics to none. Oh, he drops the relic. He wants to convert. Will he get one? Oh my god, he got 2? That's not something we see every day. Amazing play out of our Saracens so far, and now also adding in husbandry. But as I was saying, they put the monasteries very close to the gate so that the monks have to walk less. But what that does is expose the monastery towards the ending stages of the game. I wanted to say end stages and later stages, and my brain combined them into ender. I don't know. Happens sometimes, you know? So it looks like it's going to be 3 relics to 2 in favor of our Saracen. And as that last relic makes its way slowly at a 0.7 speed to the Portuguese base, thus ends phase 2 of the game. And phase 3 should begin very shortly, where somebody, one of these players, is going to go out onto the map with some kind of villager force. It might be one. Okay, he bought more stone, Valas. Well, there you go. Look, I'm not going to pretend to know the exact amount. There is an optimal amount of gold that you should spend on food and stone. I believe... I shouldn't say I believe. Most likely, Spirit of the Law has done a video on it. Go to his channel, check it out. I don't know the exact amount. I think food is, in the 130s. So as long as food costs below that, it's good to buy. Or am I thinking stone? I don't know the exact amounts. Oh, sour. 2 monks got sniped here for purple. Kill count 7 to 5. Without those 2 monk kills, it would have been 5 to 5. Looks like it's about to become 8 to 5. Or maybe not. The brothers join the battle. And now it becomes 7 to 6. Scouts searching the southern perimeter of the map. Not sure for what. All of the Holy Grails are gone. All 5 of them are accounted for. And it is Valas who first moves out onto the map with a very comfortable, very secure town center here, nestled in between the forest and a literally rock and a hard place. Would do well to maybe wall this little chunk off. I got lucky with this spawn of forest here. What is this, by the way? Dead forest? Oh my god, it actually is dead. Bush sea and dead. Wow, okay, I was joking. I was trying to be funny, but no. It actually does say dead forest. This map looks like it's kind of wintry in some areas over here on the left side, but then it becomes a bit more tropical and lush. A little bit of snow starting to encroach. You know, the seasons are changing. These horses can feel it in their bones, and they're kicking up dust, but they're not leaving any footprints in the snow, which is the general hallmark of a winter map. Let's see. No footprints in the snow. In any event, kill count has equalized. Okay, building a wall off, but of houses. So, Valas, like I said, first out onto the map. Let's take a look while the players disengage at what the heck is going on inside their bases. 4 town centers for our Saracen, 68 villagers to the 64 of our Portuguese. Although with Portuguese, you can never really tell at this stage of the game because, again, they can just build a bunch of Feitorias And even though they cost 20 population space, even though they take up 5x5 tiles, which is a huge amount of space, and this is a closed off map, they don't need as many villagers because of that. So 69 villagers, 3 town centers. Looks like he snuck in a few of these cav and managed to get a villager kill, and then exits stage bottom right. Hasn't seen any other attempt to wall off. No? Okay, so Valas sends a second relief villager and also shoos away this entire force. What are the upgrades, by the way? No upgrades for either player. Quantity over quality. Our Saracen going full on economic, getting loom at the 26-minute mark of the game, tells us that this is for sure a closed map, while our Portuguese rushing up to Imperial. Valas does not have a third of the food that he needs yet, but I absolutely love this. This is the mind of a Black Forest player, right? Create little wall-offs, little enclaves where you can expand. That being said, let's see what our Portuguese is going for. 3 archery ranges. Very interesting. Portuguese archery range, pretty damn good. Their roster. I think they're just missing, what is it? The heavy cav archer, right? If I'm not mistaken. By the way, the scouting for Valas with this one scout, or now light cav, I guess, is phenomenal. I think he's far away that his opponent doesn't see him, but he's close enough that he sees. Look at this. Literally, he doesn't need to see the gate. He just needs to see 1 tile away from the gate, because of the second a villager comes out of here, unless this happens, and then the second he see a unit gets out of there, he sees it. Beautiful, beautiful play here by Valas, who is now also going archery ranges, 3 of them of his own. I don't mind that at all. Let's see a big old ranged war between these two civilizations. 0 upgrades versus 0 upgrades basically means that quantity and HP determine the outcome. And Valas, even though he's got 1 more unit than his opponent, take a look at the HP, actually lower. And now that there's an extra, even more. Oh, but has to get the hell out of here. Doesn't want these units converted. An interesting little force here. This is like something at the start of a campaign. King Richard on his horse, or Barbarossa on his horse, with a little bit of an army, explore the map, discover some allies, take over a few town centers, help your teammate not to die, but out moves our Portuguese. This must be a feint for something. Yeah, here we go. If I click this, it's probably going to be villagers, right? Yeah. You don't send this kind of hodgepodge of a force towards your opponent. Ugh. Okay, but manages to get a few more. Okay, you know what? 2 crossbows in exchange for an onager. Not great, but I don't mind it. Especially since most of the time these mangonels rather do much less. Oh, I don't think you want to engage into light cav. But as I was saying, when you're moving forward with such a random hodgepodge armed forces, your opponent should know that that's a smoke screen for something. And I think Valas knows, and so now he's out on the map, he's exploring, he's going to see these villagers. What an impressive amount of scouting here for our Saracen. Saw the crossbow moving out, sees the castle. Just absolutely impressive gameplay. Parthian tactics, chemistry for him. Absolutely wonderful gameplay so far. So, that being said, he is down 8 army supply, even though he's up 10 villagers, and he's ceding map control to his opponent. So all the vision in the world is great. Where are you guys going? Okay. Oh, man. People love complaining about the pathing in this game. That was a prime example. Oh, no, another one. I mean, it's a nice little alley here with fresh flowers, a house, probably somebody baking a pie in here. It must smell real nice to walk down that alley. But not very useful if your goal is to actually build something. Cav archers are out for our Saracen. Man, that Saracen archery roster, pristine. Absolutely pristine. Arquebus. That's the upgrade that I mentioned earlier, where projectiles fire faster and more accurately. But it's for gunpowder units, and he's got 1 gunpowder unit. Very interesting. By the way, I would be remiss if I didn't mention, because I love mentioning Treb upgrades. I love mentioning whenever we see Britain's Warwolf. Japanese Cataperuto is just absolutely one of my favorite. Redemption, he wants to convert some siege units and some buildings. Timorid Siegecraft, but one that's overlooked is actually the Saracen upgrade. Remember, in the beginning of the game, I mentioned that their Trebs, Mangonels, and Onagers can all be increased to rather upgraded to increase their attack. And generally, it does take 3 Treb shots to kill an enemy Treb. With counterweights, which is the name of the upgrade for the Saracen, it only takes 2. And their Siege Onagers can take down Hussars, Champions, and even Bombard Cannons. Get this, without a direct hit. An indirect hit actually takes down a Champion. So, very, like I said, it must be because the market play is a bit more complicated than the average kind of military economic play, that we don't see Saracens that much. Or maybe it's just the luck of the draw. But they are quite a tanky civilization. If you've watched our live streams, oh, Bombard Cannon does end up going down. But in exchange for a castle and another Bombard that was here, not a bad trade. This might be a bad trade, though, for our Saracen. Trading out super duper expensive units for super duper cheap crappy units. But as I was about to say, if you've watched... Oh, where are you going? Get the hell back into the... Go back. If you've watched our live streams, which... right up until I got a newborn, right up until a stork delivered a baby to my doorstep about a month ago, we were doing every day, and we will get back into doing them every day. For those of you watching who were part of the regular crew, we will get back to watching them. You guys know I love the Saracens. The Mameluke, my favorite unit in the game. If one can even have a favorite unit. I mean, there's so many cool units in this game, and I have fanboyed over a lot of them. If you don't believe me, just go watch any movie where you see samurai. Oh, mama, do I fanboy out. What a good catch here by Valas. Now 20 villagers ahead of his opponent and catching Arbalests. And by the way, seeing that there are Arbalests is a fantastic, fantastic get here for our Saracen. But the Saracens, man, are they a powerful civilization. Their monk line, by the way, also pristine. Their siege line, fantastic. All they're missing, I think, are scorpions, or rather heavy scorpions. But especially on an open map, when your archers come with +3 attack against, or not +3, but... Oh, why is it 0? Oh, sorry, foot archers, my bad. Imagine, how many games have we seen, have I casted, and have we watched, where so much foot archer action happens in Feudal? Imagine if those archers all came with a +3 attack boost against buildings. You know, archers generally not the strongest units against buildings. But with a +3, oh god, loses a bombard cannon up here. Okay, I'm going to stop gushing over the Saracens. It seems like Valas is taking a worse trades here against the trash units of the Portuguese. 4 bombard cannons are coming out. 3 already on the field of battle. 1 more in production. But it looks like he's going to lose 2 of them. Does lose 2 of them. Ay, ay, ay. But... oh man, does lose a Treb. Oh, why did you target the northern Treb? Target the southern Treb. Oh, 1 goes down, 2 go down. All the Trebs of the Saracens are gone. But 36 heavy cav archers. Are they fully upgraded? It seems like it. 14 light cav. No Hussars out just yet for our Saracen, but a sneaky side-swiping castle is on its way if he can get it up. If I was going to make a dirty Viagra joke, but I thought better of it, and then instead of making the joke, I just referenced the joke I was about to make. That is the epitome of sloppy comedy, is to say I would have made a joke, but I'm not going to. I mean, Valas here with a better unit, but our Nili with the counter unit. This is way too few. Okay, now they're Hussars, though. I was going to say way too few light cav. fully upgraded Hussars, not fully upgraded, still missing Blast Furnace, should be able to shoo this force away. And now the Cav Archers are going to have a field day sniping these retreating units, whether they're the Treb that went down here or the Foot Archers that are going to go down here. This is a lot of army out of our Saracen, but a lot of army out of our Portuguese. The Portuguese, though, missing Hussars, so if he wants to go full head-on melee against our Saracen, might have to think twice about it. Just now getting forging. Oh my goodness. What melee unit does he have that he's getting forging? He doesn't have a single melee unit. I'm gonna zoom out for a quick second. Does he even have more than just the original stable? No, he doesn't. And just the original barracks. Why the hell is Nili getting forging? Curiouser and curiouser. Monk, where do you think you're going? You are going to the afterworld. 2 coins in your eyes. One of the monks did manage to get a convert. 2 coins on his eyes for the ferryman. And does our Saracen care? Both players, looks like no. Valas capped out at 200. Nili at 190 is housed with the destruction of that castle. Oh, it's not Ethiopian siege with torsion engines, but it'll do. Oh my god. Oh my goodness. What an absolute devastating engage there. I want to see that again. That was absolutely horrific there for our Portuguese. Once he lost his castle, look, he's got the numbers advantage. But let's take a look at what we're working with. 36 HCAs, 12 Hussars, and 4 Bombards against 33 Arbalest. By the way, what are the upgrades on them? Okay, fully upgraded Arbalest, 33, 23 skirmishers, and only 1 Bombard cannon. Okay, so we'll see what happens with that Bombard cannon. Sorry, I think there was a glitch with the mic. Let's see what happens here, because 1 Bombard cannon against 4. We saw towards the end these Bombards just ravishing the archer line of the Portuguese. But let's see what actually happens here. Because you'd like to think the Portuguese should have done better here, right? With the counter, with the elite skirmisher and its big bonuses. I shouldn't say big bonuses, but bonuses in any event. Okay, so as we engage, before the Hussars even make it, 33 has become 28, 23 has become 14. There's a whole bunch of villagers blocking the path, 2 monks, full health, and the Bombard is still alive. So let's take a look at what ends up happening here. The Hussars now start engaging, and now the army supply, take a look, has dipped from 63 to 42 and from 61 to 55. So much more longevity in the Saracen army, even though, take a look, down 500 HP, bruised and battered though it is. What are the attack speeds, by the way? Let's take a look. 1.8, and the Arbalests should be higher, no? 2, yeah. That's unfortunate. 2 and 3 for the skirmishers. So not only do these guys hit harder, they have more HP and they attack faster. And now Teal's archer units are all stuck attacking these Hussars, which seem a bit blocked here. Val is blocking the path for his own units. But then the Bombards come in and yuck. 21 kills on these guys. And the Bombard is still here for our Portuguese. Took a terrible engage. I think if these Bombards weren't here, maybe we wouldn't have seen a GG, because there are still 5, 6 stables. My goodness, archery ranges here. Multiple mining camps going up for our Saracen as well, but raiding to the back has managed to get into the base here as well. So things are in the blink of an eye. Look at that, at the literally the 45-minute mark of the game. When did this battle start? 44. So literally in 30 seconds the game changes. You know, when I started the channel, I'm gonna keep getting reminiscing about this. By the way, what the heck is this? When I started the channel, somebody you know, I mentioned how Age of Empires, because I also enjoy StarCraft and watch StarCraft 2 casters and things like that. it's a much more fast-paced game, and Age of Empires starts a little slower, right? There's people who are always, why are you even going through Dark Age? So I've started inserting chapters where you can skip over the Dark Age if you so wish and jump straight into Feudal. But my goodness, does this disprove any kind of qualms people might have about the speed of the game? In literally 30 in-game seconds, which, by the way, remember that's at 1.7 normal speed. So 30 in-game seconds is more like, what, 17 or 18 human seconds? The entire game changed. The dynamic changed. One fight in half a minute, in a third of a minute, the game ended, and our Portuguese just doesn't have the wood. Maybe, like I said, he has the infrastructure, but doesn't have the wood. Wow, what a fun game. And by the way, super cool, super fun to see the Saracens. Again, I wish more people would play Saracens. I just think they're such a fun civilization to watch, just because they have some pretty damn strong camel units. Mameluke, again, pristine. Absolutely all the monk techs. Very good siege line. And even though they don't have the scorpions, the heavy ones, with that counterweights upgrade, forget about it, as they'd say in The Sopranos. In any event, 89 hussars to 79 skirmishers, both players playing a bit of a relaxed game at roughly the 40-minute mark of the game. Economically, our Saracens so much more ahead. This is about 25% of a bigger economy here. Look at that, about 6,500 more wood, about 3,000 more food, gold 5,000 more, or to 4,500. Relics didn't really play that big of a role in the difference. And stone, about 2 castles, just under 2 castles more. Stone, oh, I wanted to see the converts. We saw some monk play, not a lot, 4 and 3. Arquebus, as we saw, but no unique techs, no unique upgrades for our Saracen. Interesting. Okay. Kill count. Our Saracen, 217, of which 53 were villagers. 150 kills for our Portuguese, of which only 14 were villagers. So got a little bit of damage done here. Got a little bad damage done here, I think. But ultimately, Nili just couldn't hold on to that center position where he had built his castle and built his a bit of infrastructure. And take a look at this tide, this pastel tide of purple that is going to overwhelm and absolutely demolish the Portuguese base. And like I said, without the 4 bombard cannons, and maybe even, you know what, leave the treble alone. Without the 4 bombards, maybe Nili would have continued playing this game. He's got a lot of villagers on gold. His stone pile being decimated, though. Oh, no. As is his wood line. But ultimately, just, yeah, can't replenish his army. Can't replenish anything. He's just got way too much food. And like I mentioned, Portuguese don't get hussars, which means that he cannot compete in terms of trash, the ultimate trash unit here with our Saracen. Decides to tap out. What a fun game. Valas gets the W, but GG to both players. Did you enjoy this video? Check out these other clips and make sure to subscribe and enable notifications so that you're notified of my latest uploads.